Let's take a look at the create panel, which is here, and we can click on geometry, and in standard primitives you'll see all of these objects that we can create. So standard primitives are just the really basic ones, so we've got box and sphere. So to create an object, you click on box, click, drag, release, pull it up, and then click again. Then you'll still be in create mode, so if I click and drag again, I'll create another box. So we right click to come out of that, and you'll see that as soon as we right click, a gizmo appears, which is this X, Y, and Z, and this is how we move objects around, which we're going to go through in a little bit. And when we select other objects, you'll see that the gizmo turns up, so that's how we move objects around. And if we go over to the modify panel, we can see the parameters of this. So if we want to change the length to something specific like 600, we can type that in here, and this is how we can basically manipulate objects. You'll also notice back in the create menu, when you do create a new object, you can see it in the parameters when you're creating it. So you can do it here as soon as you've created the object whilst you're still in creation mode. So we right click, and then you'll see we have to go over to modify. So go through and create some of these objects just to see what you've got and what you can do with them. So just play with the parameters as well. And once you've done that, you'll see that there's a lot more primitives here. So we've got extended primitives as well. So things like oil tankers, which are quite interesting shapes. And you've got a chamfered box as well, which is basically a box but with soft edges, and this is how we get more realistic effects. I mean, this box already looks more realistic than this one. It's got a few more parameters in modify that you can play with. So this fillet is the thickness of that curve. I'm just using the middle mouse button here to zoom in and out, but I'm going to go through the viewport controls as well a little later. I just want to show you move and rotate right now. So once you've got an object selected, the easiest way to go to move, rotate, or scale is to right click, and you'll see move, rotate, and scale here. So you can select here, that's what I generally do, but you can also use these options up here. You've got move, rotate, and scale. So with the move tool, you can move up and left and right using the gizmos. You can also do this in the other viewports, and you can see it updating in the perspective view. And also, if you want that back on the ground, I'm just going to right click here on these transforms, and that's going to move that. So we can click and drag here as well. And if I right click, rotate, you can see we can rotate the object in various ways. And Control Z is going to undo, so we can rotate this how we please. And then we also have scale here, so we can scale in whatever direction we want as well. You can see that we've got different opportunities to scale between the Z and the Y, for example. So you can click and drag and scale here, and the same goes for the move tool. If you hover over, you'll see that we can lock to one axis or two, so now we can move it around in both the X and the Z.